The problem with you is you're whining like a little fucking baby.
What's going on, fam? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode of Ask Papa Swolio. Remember, if you want your question answered right here on the show, just drop your question in the comments down below with the hashtag AskPapaSwolio, and I will get to them as soon as I can. Don't forget to subscribe also to my daily podcast, the Daily Swole Podcast. Link is in the description down below. You can also subscribe to my second channel, Daily Swole Podcast, and watch the live streams here on YouTube. It's available everywhere. You can hit your ear holes, hit your eye holes. Daily Swole Podcast, and I'm live and large and in charge every single day. So I hope to see you there. Let's get into the first question of the day, and this one is from James Janisak, and he asks, Papa Swolio, how do I calculate calories burned in a 45-minute total body workout? From my standpoint, because you're asking me this question, I want to know why you want to know that answer. I have not once calculated my total calories burned in a workout ever. If you're not gaining weight, eat more calories. If you're not losing weight fast enough, reassess your caloric intake, check out my information on elimination diet, and whittle down your calories. Go into more of a caloric deficit. You know, knowing that number of how many calories burned, I don't know what that is going to achieve for you, but I would recommend getting one of those heart rate monitors, one of those Fitbits or things that approximate how many calories you've burned. They're not 100% accurate, of course, but that will give you a better idea. Question from Crystal Bell. Papa Swolio, what types of yoga do you recommend for those who find the slow movements to be boring? I want to like yoga and improve my flexibility, but I haven't found a yoga practice that keeps my interest. Love your content, Crystal. Thanks, Crystal. I appreciate it. To give you advice about what type of yoga to interest you, I would just say try everything. Try anything. Try different classes, try different instructors, try doing yoga at different times a day. But I will say that if you are having trouble focusing in a yoga class because it's too slow, usually that means you need that type of yoga flow. Any type of pose, and this is just it's true more often than not, if you struggle with a certain pose or there's a certain pose that you don't like or that you can't focus on or you really muscle through and you just find it extremely challenging, that's usually the pose that you need. That's usually the one that you should focus on more and practice more. That's usually what your body is telling you, that we need this pose or this type of practice more in our life. Same thing with meditation. What do you think meditation is? That's slowing down hardcore, but it's observing your thoughts in a different way and remapping how your brain works. So that's extremely challenging for most people, and I recommend that for you as well. I think that's a sign that you need to focus on that and push through it a little bit more. I think you need to slow down upstairs a little bit more. That's usually a good sign of that, so my opinion. Question from Hopalicious. Papa Swolio, you keep mentioning elimination diets, and I would love to do it, but you literally have tons of videos about it. Which one should we start with? That's true. I have a lot of episodes of my Daily Swole podcast on this. I also have done an episode or a video here on my YouTube channel recently about that. You can check, it's within the last probably 2 weeks or so, about the elimination diet. But I also have a brand new article. I'll put the link in the description down below for my Gain Train blog. It's all on my website, swolenormousx.com, but I broke down the elimination diet in the most recent blog post, so that's a good place to start as well. It's just the process of cutting out some major, commonly inflammatory food groups, things that usually affect a lot of people, like dairy products, like wheat, grains, gluten, that type of general category, processed sugars. When you cut out a lot of these common triggers, you're going to find out a lot about your body, and it's going to help you not just in the short term, but in the long term as well. So check out that latest blog on my website, swolenormousx.com. You'll see the link in the main menu on my website. Question from Beatrice Evelyn. Papa Swolio, is yoga something that would help with my asthma? For the days I don't have time to go to the gym, I still want to do something at home to just get my body moving. So you have asthma and you want to know if yoga will help with it. I don't, from a medical standpoint, I don't know. I'm not an asthma expert. I've never dealt with it personally, but anything that controls the breath and controls your neurological system, your nervous system, will be beneficial in my opinion. You know, yoga is such an amazing stress reliever, and whatever triggers your asthma will be, I can't even say it, asthma. Whatever helps control your breath and helps relax and center and pace your neuromuscular system will be beneficial from my experience. Now, will it help directly? You'll have to try and find out, but I don't think it will make it worse. But you can Google that. I would recommend checking that with your doctor or other resources of people that might have had more experience with that as an effect directly. But yoga has helped literally all aspects of my life, from how I sleep to how I digest food to how I feel like emotionally, how my training is, how my body body looks, everything. So I would be shocked if it didn't help with that as well. Question from One Bad Puffin. Ooh, Papa Swolio, which type of yoga do you... All these yoga questions. Which type of yoga do you recommend to complement a weight training regimen? Good question. So aside from the other yoga questions, should I slow it down? I don't like slow yoga. I can't find it engaging. I get bored with it. Will it help with my asthma? This question, what do I recommend to complement a weight training? I would recommend all types of yoga. I think anyone that's getting into a yoga practice should try, should dabble, should experiment with different types of yoga. I think you should experiment with different types, but very restorative types of yoga like yin yoga is fantastic. And that's actually something that we focus on a lot in Swolenormous X. So on my private member site, we have an entire yoga studio and we have an entire section dedicated to yin yoga. We also have block flows and strap classes, yoga with props and things like that. But yin yoga is specifically longer holds. You'll hold positions for 3, 4, 5 minutes plus. Yin yoga is extremely restorative. It gets into that deep connective fascial tissue. So I recommend if you have access to that in your local area, check it out, yin yoga. And if you want it and you can watch on your phone, TV, check out my site, swolenormousx.com. Feel free to send me a message or use the live chat on my site if you want to ask me other questions about it. Question from Europa. Papa Swolio, I've stopped feeling sore after workouts even though I do progressive overload. Does that mean I've stopped making progress? No, because if you're doing progressive overload, that means you're going up in weight. You're progressively overloading your body, which means you're progressively handling that resistance. You're progressively handling what you're adding. There's a lot of different factors for feeling sore. Maybe you're not doing as much volume. Maybe you're not really pushing yourself as hard as you think you are. Maybe you're not training as frequently. Maybe you're hydrating better, or you're eating better, or you're sleeping better, which is helping you recover better. I don't know the whole breakdown of your program and all the details of each of your workouts, which I would really need to give you a completely accurate answer because I don't have all the information. But feeling sore is not necessarily meaning that you got a good workout or a bad workout. Just because you're sore doesn't mean, oh, you did everything great. And just because you're not sore doesn't mean that you sucked and had a shitty workout. So keep it up, keep adding that weight like you're doing. If you're seeing progress the way you are liking, you didn't say you're not making progress, just said you're not feeling sore. So if you're still seeing progress that you like and the progress that you're going after, keep it up. Don't change horses midstream. Question from Vince Palmieri. Papa Swolio, firstly, love the channel. Thanks, Vince. Do you think there are a lot of fake natties in the industry, like David Lade and Jeff Side? Do you think they are natty? One, I do think there are a ton of fake natties because you don't have to claim one thing or the other. You can use anabolics, like there's no rules in the fitness industry. It's illegal to use anabolic steroids. It's illegal to have them. They're a controlled substance. But if you want to have a page and a channel and start making videos and you juice up, there's no need for you to say one thing or the other. People lie all the time about lots of things. Do I think they're natty? I haven't analyzed their physiques or analyzed the way they look. One thing that I will say is a lot of people mistake someone that has to be big in order to be unnatural. You could be very hard, very lean, very dense, very strong. They're all different types of anabolic compounds. There are hundreds, if not thousands. So just because someone doesn't look like a brick shithouse and weigh 300 pounds shredded does not mean that they are not taking something. So I don't really care. I mean, I'll call people out. I don't like it when people are obviously not natural and they're pushing supplements and they're pushing garbage, things that will trick people into thinking that that's possible with that product, but they obviously are injecting stuff. They're not being transparent. But I think people need to be educated to make their own decisions. People need to learn and be educated to make their own decisions. I don't think you'll ever know, oh, this person's natural, because you can just go off cycle and do a test and, hey, I'm natural. There's no way you can prove this. You can't even prove this. People get caught still. People still skirt the system in the UFC, in the NFL, in the Olympics. People are still like, how are you going to test people? How are you ever going to know? So you have to educate. People have to be educated. The public needs to learn more about what's possible. People have to get more educated about fitness and understand that things aren't always as they seem. Question from Heather Honan. Papa Swolio, do you think it's best to avoid the scales at the beginning of your fitness journey? Yes, I do. I think people put way too much pressure on the number, on seeing that number go down. I do not think that's the most important thing right away in your fitness journey. It's setting those good habits. I know it could be encouraging to look and see the scale drop, but usually when people change eating and training habits, they're going to lose weight really quickly at the beginning, and then it's going to plateau hard, and then people tend to get discouraged and fall off. It's important to focus on the important things: eating better, making time to exercise, preparing your food, sleeping better, hydrating better, getting into a yoga practice with your strength training, getting into a proper regular meditation practice. That is what's going to build the habits that will help someone lose weight, that will help someone gain weight, whatever you're trying to accomplish. That's what will help you get there, is focusing on the fundamentals. Stepping on a scale can be a guide and give you an idea, but it's a very one-dimensional approach to whether or not you're making progress. Well, thank you so much, fam, for joining me for this episode of Ask Papa Swolio. Remember, if you want your question featured right here on the show, just drop your question in the comments down below with the hashtag AskPapaSwolio, and I will get to them as soon as I can. Don't forget to check out and subscribe to the Daily Swole podcast. Links are in the description down below, or you can go to swolenormousx.com, check out the blog. You can subscribe to the podcast there. All that's in the main menu at swolenormousx.com, and I'll see you next time right here for the next episode of Ask Papa Swolio. Peace.
Click the link, motherfucker! Click the link! Click the link! Watch another video, like and subscribe. I know you want to. You know you want to. Come on, everyone knows you want to. You love Papa Swolio. You love the man bun. You love the sick bugging gains. You love it. Oh, oh, oh. You love it. Oh, 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 oh.